Hello all, here I am presenting some topics of Chapter 12 Theory of Games. We know that there are situations in which a single decision maker make the decisions according to their interest to optimize the objective function. So there is no chance of conflict in deciding what the objective is. Also there are situations in which there are two or more decision makers, each one making decisions to optimize his objective function. So, there may be conflict with the objective of others. And we know such situations like trade and commerce, battles and wars, and various types of games. In these situations, there are two or more persons and they are making the decisions according to their interest to achieve their own objective and prevent others from achieving theirs. And these situations and their solutions form the subject matter of theory of games. Now let us define what is a game. A game is defined as an activity between two or more persons and they have their own moves and these moves are based on the rules of the game, and at the end of the game each person receives some benefit or loss. The set of rules defines the game. Going through the set of rules once by the participants defines a play. And there are some characteristics of game theory. First one is chance or strategy. In a game, if the moves are determined by chance, it is called a game of chance. Also, if they are determined by skill, it is called game of strategy. Generally, we can say a game involves partially strategy and partially chance. Next one is number of persons. We know that in a game there are two or more persons. So in a game, if there are n number of persons are playing in it, then it is called an n person game. Here the person means an individual or group. Next is number of moves. Number of moves may be finite or infinite. And the next one is number of alternatives or choices available to each person per move. This may also be finite or infinite. In a finite game, there is finite number of moves involving finite number of alternatives. Otherwise, the game is infinite. And next one is information available to players of the past moves of other players. In this, there are mainly two cases, that is no information at all or complete information available. Also, there are cases like in which information is partially available. And the next is payoff. Payoff is a quantitative measure of the satisfaction a person gets at the end of the play. It is a real valued function of the variable in a game. Also, in an n-person game, if capital Pi where I is equal to 1 to etc. n is the person, then small letter pi is the payoff to the person capital Pi where I is equal to 1 to etc. n. Then if summation over I is equal to 1 to n, small letter pi is equal to 0, the game is said to be a zero-sum game. That is, if small letter p1 is the payoff to the person capital P1 and small letter p2 is the payoff to the person capital P2, etc. Small letter pn is the payoff to the person capital Pn, then summation of these payoffs, that is small letter p1 plus small letter p2 plus etc. plus pn is equal to 0, then it is a zero-sum game. Next is matrix game or rectangular games. A matrix game is a zero-sum two-person game. We know that a zero-sum game means sum of the payoffs will be equal to 0. In this game, consider the matrix, this matrix. In this, there are only two players, P1 and P2. That is, in a matrix game, there are only two players. So, P1 and P2 are the players here. Where the player P1 has m choices, I is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. m, the rows of a matrix, and the player P2 has n choices, j is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. n, the columns of the matrix. Then the m by n matrix, that is the player P1 has m choices and P2 has n choices. So it is an m by n matrix. The m by n matrix A is equal to Aij gives the payoff to the person P1. And we know that it is a zero-sum game. So the payoff of the matrix, the payoff of the person P2 is the matrix minus A. That is, we know that in a zero-sum, zero sum game, sum of the payoff will be equal to 0. So the payoff matrix for the player P1 is A and the player P2 is minus A. So this is the matrix, that is the given matrix is the matrix of the player P1. The game is played as follows, that is P1 chooses a value of I and P2 chooses a value of j. Suppose they are choosing, that is P1 chooses value I is equal to 3 and P2 choosing the value j is equal to 5 without each knowing what the others has chosen. After choosing this, the choices are disclosed, that is they can know what the other has chosen. So in this case we can say that P1 receives Aij or P2 pays Aij, because this is the payoff matrix of the player P1. So in this matrix game, it is a zero sum 2-person game and there are only two players P1 and P2, where P1 has m choices and P2 has n choices, and the given matrix is the payoff matrix of the player P1, and the payoff matrix of the player P2 is the matrix minus A, and here P1 receives Aij or P2 pays Aij. Now let us consider some problems of game theory. So consider the following matrix game. We know that a matrix game is a zero sum 2-person game. So there are only two players P1 and P2, where the player P1 can choose the strategies I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the player P2 can choose the strategies j is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Here the player P1 choose his strategy 1, then the player P2 choose his strategy 1 to get the outcome 4. When the player P1 choose the strategy 1 and the player P2 choose the strategy 2, the outcome will be minus 2. So in the similar manner we can find out the other outcomes. So in the first case, that is when the player P1 choose the strategy 1 and the player P2 choose the strategies 1, 2, 3, 4, the outcomes are 4, minus 2, minus 4 and minus 1. In this, the minimum value is minus 4. We know that this is the payoff matrix for the player P1. So the minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 4. Here P2 is the minimizing player. That is, P2 will always tries to minimize the gain of the player P1. So here the minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 4. And the player P1 is the maximizing player. That is, P1 will always tries to maximize his gain. So in the next case, that is, when the player P1 choose the strategy 2, the player P2 can choose the strategies 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the outcomes will be 3, 1, minus 1, 2. In this, the minimum value is minus 1. In the next case, that is when the player P1 choose the strategy 3 and the player P2 choose his strategies, the outcomes are 2, 3, minus 2, minus 2. In this, the minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 2. And the next case, that is when the player P1 choose the strategy 4 and P2 choose his strategies, the outcomes are minus 1, minus 3 and 1. So the minimum value is minus 3. So in the next case, the minimum value is minus 3. So in these values, that is in the minimum gains of the player P1, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 3. The maximum gain is minus 1. That is, the best choice for the player P1 is to opt I is equal to 2, that is the strategy 2. This assures player P1 at least the gain minus 1. In general, P1 should try to maximize his least gains. That is, P1 taking the strategy 2 to maximize his least gain. So these are the least gains of the player P1. The maximum of this least gain is minus 1. So we can say that it is equal to find out maximum over I, minimum over j, Aij, which is equal to minus 1. Minimum over j, Aij are these values minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 3. where the maximum over that value is minus 1. So maximum over I, minimum over j, aij is equal to minus 1. Similarly, we can say that when the player P1 choose the strategy 1, the player P2 choose the strategy 1 to get the outcome 4. Then when the player P1 choose the strategy 2 and the player P2 choose the strategy 1, the outcome will be 3. And when player P1 choose 3 and P2 choose 1, the outcome will be 2. And when player P1 choose 4 and P2 choose strategy 1, the outcome will be minus 1. And the next case, the outcome will be minus 3. So in these values, 4, 3, 2, minus 1, minus 3, the maximum value is 4. So in the next case, that is when the player P1 chooses his strategies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the player P2 choose his strategy 2, the outcomes will be minus 2, 1, 3, minus 2, 1, 3, minus 3, 2. In these outcomes, the maximum value is 3. And the next case, the maximum value is minus 1. And the last case, the maximum value is 2. So, these are the maximum gains of the player. So, these are the maximum gains of the player P1. That is 4, 3, minus 1, 2. But we know that the player P2 is the minimizing player. So, the player P2 will always tries to minimize the gain of the player P1. So, what is the minimum value here? Here the minimum value is minus 1. To get this minimum value, the player P2 will always try to choose the strategy 3. In this, the outcomes 4, 3, minus 1, 2 are maximum over I, aij, where minus 1 is the minimum gain for the player P1 by choosing the strategy j is equal to 3 by the player P2. So, these values 4, 3, minus 1, 2 are maximum over I, aij. In that, minus 1 is the minimum value by choosing the strategy j is equal to 3 by the player P2. So, this minimum gain minus 1 of the player P1, we can say that this is equal to minimum over j, maximum over I, aij. So, in these two cases, we can say that maximum over I, minimum over j, aij is equal to minus 1, which is equal to minimum over j, maximum over I, aij. Therefore, maximum over I, minimum over j, aij is equal to minimum over j, maximum over I, aij. So finally, we can say that the arguments of P1 and P2 lead to the same payoff. It may not always happen. So we can consider that condition also. Consider the following matrix game. In this, the player P1 have the strategies I is equal to 1, 2, 3 and the player P2 have the strategies j is equal to 1, 2, 3. When the player P1 chooses his strategy 1 and player P2 chooses his strategy 1, the outcome is 2. When he chooses the strategy, that is when the player P1 chooses his strategy 1 and P2 chooses the strategy 2, the outcome is minus 3. When P1 chooses 1 and P2 chooses strategy 3, the outcome is 7. So in these outcomes 2, minus 3, 7. The minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 3. So in the next case, when the player P1 chooses his strategy 2 and the player P2 chooses his strategies 1, 2, 3, the outcomes are minus 7, 4, minus 5, where the minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 7. In the last case, the minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 6. That is in the outcomes 5, minus 6, 6. The minimum gain for the player P1 is minus 6. So in this minimum gains minus 3, minus 7 and minus 6, minus 3 is the maximum value. That is minus 3 is the maximum gain for the player P1. Because we know that player P1 is the maximizing player. So player P1 will always try to maximize his least gains. So here the maximum value is minus 3. So maximum over I, minimum over j, aij is equal to minus 3. In the similar manner, we can say that when the player P1 chooses his strategies 1, 2, 3, the player P2 choose his strategy 1 to get the outcomes 2, minus 7, 5. In that the maximum value is 5. And when the player P1 chooses strategies 1, 2, 3 and P2 chooses his strategy 2, the outcomes are minus 3, 4, minus 6 where the maximum value is 4. And also in the last case when the outcomes 7, minus 5, 6 the maximum value is 7. So in this maximum values 5, 4, 7 the minimum value is 4. We know that P2 is the minimizing player. That is P2 will always try to minimize the gain of the player P1. So here the minimum value is 4. So we can say that minimum over j, maximum over I, Aij is equal to 4. In this example, we can see that the two are not equal. That is, here we can say that maximum over I, minimum over j, Aij is less than minimum over j, maximum over I, Aij. Next we are saying about saddle point. In a matrix Aij, if maximum over I, minimum over j, Aij is equal to minimum over j, maximum over I, Aij, then we can say that there is a saddle point. That is, here the saddle point is at R, S. So, the optimal strategies of the player P1 and P2 are said to be I is equal to R and J is equal to S respectively. And ARS is said to be the value of the game. Here in the example 1, maximum over I, minimum over j, Aij is equal to minimum over j, maximum over I, Aij, which was equal to minus 1. So we can say that there is a saddle point here. So this value minus 1 this value minus 1 is the value of the game here. So this value minus 1 is obtained by choosing the strategy I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 3 by the players P1 and P2 respectively. So here ARS is equal to A2 3 which is equal to minus 1. So here ARS, that is minus 1, is the value of the game and R, S, that is 2, 3 is the saddle point here. But in the example 2, we can say that maximum over I, minimum over j, Aij is not equal to minimum over j, maximum over I, Aij. So we can say that there is no saddle point here. So there is no value of the game here. Minimax theorem and saddle point. Let f of xy be a real valued function of two vectors x and y where x belongs to En and y belongs to Em. Where x is kept, when we kept x fixed and the value of y is varied, then we get a function f of xy which has a minimum for some value of y. We can denote this as phi is equal to minimum over y f of xy. That is, we are keeping x as fixed and y is varied. Then we get the function f of xy which has a minimum. It is denoted as minimum over y f of xy and which is equal to phi. Then we are giving some other fixed values to the vector x. Then for different values of x, we can obtain values of phi. So we can say that phi is a function of x and we can write it as, that is, we can rewrite the previous equation as phi of x is equal to minimum over y f of xy. Now suppose that phi of x has a maximum for some value of x. That is, we are taking the maximum over on the left and right side. Then we get maximum over x, phi of x is equal to maximum over x, minimum over y, f of xy. In the similar manner, we can kept yx a fixed value and x is varying, then f of xy has a maximum for some value of x. Then we can denote this value by some value psi. Psi is equal to maximum over x f of xy. Then psi is equal to maximum over x f of xy. Then if we are giving to y some other fixed values, for different values of y we can find, that is we can obtain some values of psi, and this means that psi is a function of psi is a function of y. Then we can write it as psi of y is equal to maximum over x f of xy. Now let us suppose that psi of y has a minimum for some values of y. Then we can write it as minimum over y, psi of y is equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy. Here we first find a maximum of f of xy with respect to x, keeping y fixed, and then find the minimum of the function, so obtained with respect to y. Next a theorem. This theorem is known as min-max theorem. Let f of xy be such that both maximum over x minimum over y f of xy and minimum over y maximum over x f of xy exist. Then maximum over x minimum over y f of xy is less than or equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy. Proof. Here to find this, let x0 and y0 be some arbitrarily chosen points in En and Em respectively, that is x0 belongs to En and y0 belongs to Em. Then minimum over y f of x0 y is less than or equal to f of x0 y0. That is, here we are fixing x0 and y is varying. Then we can say that minimum over y f of x0 y will always less than or equal to f of x0 y0. Similarly, when y0 is fixed and x is varying, we can say that maximum over x f of x y0 greater than or equal to f of x0 y0. Then combining these two, we get minimum over y f of x0 y less than or equal to maximum over x f of x y0. Then we are taking minimum on both sides by varying y. Then we get minimum over y f of x0 y less than or equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy. Then we are taking x0 as an arbitrary point and we are changing x0 and taking maximum over x. That is, since x0 is any point in En, then equality will hold even if we choose that x0, which makes minimum over y f of xy maximum. Therefore, maximum over x minimum over y f of xy is less than or equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy. Next we have a corollary based on the min-max theorem. Let Aij be an m×n matrix, then maximum over I minimum over j Aij is less than or equal to minimum over j maximum over I Aij. Here this Aij defines the payoff matrix in a two-player game and the inequality hold for the Aij's. That is, the max-min is less than or equal to min-max. And remember that maximum is on I and minimum is on j. Then we have a definition. A point x0 y0 if x naught belongs to En and y naught belongs to Em, is said to be a saddle point of f of xy if f of x y naught less than or equal to f of x naught y naught less than or equal to f of x naught y. We have already studied that if maximum over I minimum over j aij is equal to minimum over j maximum over I aij, then there exists a saddle point. In this definition, it says that if f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught less than or equal to f of x naught y, then there exists a saddle point x naught y naught. We have a theorem which shows the existence of a saddle point. Let f of xy be such that both maximum over x minimum over y f of xy and minimum over y maximum over x f of xy exist. Then the necessary and sufficient condition for the existence of a saddle point x naught y naught of f of xy is that f of x naught y naught equal to maximum over x minimum over y f of xy, which is equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy. Proof. First we are proving the necessary part. So to prove that the condition is necessary, let x naught y naught be a saddle point of f of xy. Then by the previous definition, we have f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught, which is less than or equal to f of x naught y. In particular, we can say that f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught. Then if we are taking the maximum over x f of x y naught, then which is always less than or equal to f of x naught y naught. That is, the maxims of f of x naught y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught. Then but we can say that the maxims over x of the function f of xy, and we are taking the minimum on this, that is minimum over y maximum over x f of xy, will always less than or equal to maximum over x f of x y naught. And we also have maximum over x f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught. So we can write it as like this. Therefore from this we can directly write it as minimum over y maximum over x f of xy is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught. Again we have from the definition of a saddle point, that is from this, we have f of x naught y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y for every y belongs to Em. Then we can say that minimums on this f of x naught, then on the function f of x naught y is always greater than or equal to f of x naught y naught, that is f of x naught y naught is less than or equal to minimum over y f of x naught y. But we can say that f of x naught y naught is less than or equal to minimum over y f of x naught y from this, and this will be always less than or equal to the, that is we are taking the maxims on these minimums, that is minimum over y f of xy, that we are taking the maximum on this, that is maximum on x or maximum over x minimum over y f of xy, which is always greater than or equal to minimum over y f of x naught y. From this we get f of x naught y naught is less than or equal to maximum over x minimum over y f of xy. That is from 1 and 2. That is from 1 and 2. We can write it as minimum over y maximum over x f of xy is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught, which is less than or equal to maximum over x minimum over y f of xy from 1 and 2. And also we have from theorem 1, for any function f of xy, maximum over x minimum over y f of xy is less than or equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy. Thus from 3 and 4 we can write it as maximum over x minimum over y f of xy is equal to minimum over y maximum over x f of xy, which is also equal to f of x naught y naught. Next we are proving the sufficient part. For that, let star be true, that is, this condition is true, and also let the maximum of minimum over y f of xy occurs at x naught, that is, the maximum of minimum over y f of xy occurs at x naught, and minimum of maximum over x f of xy, minimum of maximum over x f of xy occurs at y naught. Then we can write it as minimum over y f of x naught y, that is, this means that the maximum of minimum over y f of xy occurs at x naught, and then minimum of maximum over x f of xy occurs at y naught means this, and from this condition, that is the condition star, we have these are 2, so we can write it as these two are equal. Then by the definition of minimum, we have minimum over y f of x naught y is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught, and from 5, that is from this, we can say that maximum over x f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught, that is, minimum over y f of x naught y is also equal to maximum over x f of x y naught from this. So we can write maximum over x f of x y naught instead of minimum over y f of x naught y. Then it is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught, which means that f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught for all x. Also by the definition of maximum, we have maximum over x f of x y naught is greater than or equal to f of x naught y naught. So from 5, instead of maximum over x f of x y naught, we can write this, that is minimum over y f of x naught y, which is greater than or equal to f of x naught y naught, which means f of x naught y is greater than or equal to f of x naught y naught for all y. Thus from 6 and 7, that is from this and this, we can write it as f of x y naught is less than or equal to f of x naught y naught, which is less than or equal to f of x naught y. That is by the definition, that is by the previous definition. If this condition hold, then we can say that there is a saddle point x naught y naught of f of xy. So by definition, we can say that x naught y naught is a saddle point of f of xy. We have a corollary. Let Aij be an M-by-N matrix, then the necessary and sufficient condition that Aij has a saddle point at I is equal to R and J is equal to S is that ARS is equal to maximum over I, minimum over J Aij equal to minimum over J maximum over I Aij. That is, if Aij is an M-by-N matrix, then we can say that ARS is equal to maximum over I minimum over J Aij, which is equal to minimum over J maximum over I Aij, is the necessary and sufficient condition for Aij to have a saddle point at I equal to R and J is equal to S, where Aij is a real valued function of two variables I and J.